I want to use a different cord because that one's got a little orange tape on it. It's not great, but it's okay. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Bill asked me if I wanted to join the I've never run a like that. Last time I ran it was the 70s.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be going to the kids and grandkids.
Oh, nice.
So
I loved your service.
Thank you.
It was so nice to hear. Yeah, just a very rich tapestry. It was really nice.
It's been a
Yeah, I love that.
Anyway, maybe after we'll revisit
Yeah.
do that. But I would definitely like to be trained, as I always say.
Yeah.
They made me sound good, and I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to do any sort of instruction.
We'll see you after.
Well, the last time
If I don't see you, what do you got now?
Hello. Hello. Testing. Testing. Yes. All right. So I'm just going to say, for those of us who are going to be doing the Sacred Ground meeting, we are meeting up here in about 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26. So if you want to hear about the Sacred Ground program, you should be coming forward. Thank you. ours. So unfortunately, I'd already printed it out. So
Oh, right, with this?
with the wrong ones, that's why I had.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. Yeah.
What do
Ours is fine. I had a wrong date, so I had to exit out.
Ours is good.
Ours, I think, works. Now, the only thing that'll change it is if a bunch of people say we can't make this date. All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming. I'm excited to see people who I know and people I don't know. I am really honored to be helping to lead this Sacred Ground program, and I just wanted to give some information that I thought would be useful to know. Some of the information we've already shared, but some of it wasn't shared, and then we're going to actually have some of last year's participants help us by sharing their wisdom with the group. So, for starters, I just want to explain that this program originated through the Episcopal Church. It was an Episcopal Church program, and they reached out to other faith traditions and said, are you interested in learning more about this program? It is not religious in nature, just to be clear. The program itself is not religious in nature. St. Paul's, right next door, has been really a leader in this program, and they reached out to us, and we ran, for the first time, we ran a program. We had 3 separate groups, and it was an amazing experience, and we said, we've got to do this again. And so here we are doing it again. What I want you to know about this is that it's a program that, while it provides information, and I know I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again, while it provides information to learn about some of the lesser known stories of the legacies and histories of Black, Indigenous, Latino, Asian American, and Jewish peoples, while it is going to be steeped in that information, the real goal of the program is not to focus on that content per se. The real focus of the program is to serve as a conduit. Why do I have so much trouble with that word? Conduit. Catalyst. Thank you, Joel. Catalyst. To serve as a catalyst. Well, it's truer, maybe. It's better. It's as a catalyst through which we as participants, and I say we because even though I've been through the program, I learned people go through this program multiple times, facilitators or participants, and learn something new, is to dig into our own ideas and experiences related to the information. And so through that process, the hope is that we figure out what the information means to us for ourselves, our families, our community, with the hope that it helps us move forward in new and different ways. So that's really the goal of the program, and I want to make that clear. Some things that are really important to know about it. It is a serious commitment in terms of time and attendance. The attendance piece is very, very important. And the reason I say that is that you create trust between the people in the group. And that is a very important component because you're sharing things in a confidential way amongst the group about what you're realizing, what's going through your mind, how it's affecting and impacting you, this information. And so the consistency of being there and having that tight-knit group to share that information with and feel like you're really there for one another is a very important component. A second component, and I would call it the second component, secondary is all of the work that you do beforehand. There is quite a bit of reading and video watching of materials. Sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's a couple of hours. I mean, this is just the reality. It's none of it is boring, I will tell you that. There's nothing boring about it. It is intense, and I will just say, I thought I knew a lot, and I learned that I didn't know as much as I thought I knew. So for that reason, I really want to underscore that it's really good to get through the material if you can, but the most important thing is being present. Also, emotionally difficult. This material can be really emotionally difficult. I want that. I need to say that out loud just because, again, I don't think that was as clear to me as it became clear in actually going through the program. The program does focus on how the information impacts you personally, as I said. So your behaviors, your feelings, your physical reactions. It's not really about others. It's about yourself and how you move forward. And it's really important to be willing to share openly and honestly. And also in that, to listen carefully and to remember that you want to keep all the information confidential within the group, because there will be some sharing that will be deep and meant to be just kept within that group. Listening to one another carefully, really understanding what's being said is really, really important. We do cap the groups at 9, and what I will tell you is that we have 2 afternoon groups that are running, one on Monday and one on Tuesday. The Monday group is at 8 already, and the Tuesday group is at 7. 7. But having said that, we are still taking people in. So if you haven't signed up and you decide you want to sign up, please just do see me after this, okay? So Nancy, I'm going to pass the mic over to you.
So I'm Nancy. I took the program last year and was a facilitator last year. So that was it was pretty intense. So I'm looking forward to doing it again. So I just wanted to reiterate some of the things that have been covered about the assignments. So it is 11 sessions, and we'll meet every 3 weeks starting in early October. So that goes through April or May. So it is a commitment. But you need time, so you'll have 3 weeks to do the readings and do the preparation. It's usually, this is the curriculum prepared by St. Paul's. It's a combination of articles, videos. There's some optional materials which you don't have to do every time, but if you're interested, they're available. It's a really good. It covers each topic really, really thoughtfully. You will get links. You will get, so that I guess I should the details. So we will send out the first assignment tomorrow, and it's a 1-pager which contains links to the videos. So you should just be able to open your email and get the link to the video and get links to the articles. And so that's how you get the material. Sometimes you have to go to the St. Paul site, and there's a password for that, but I think it's This is Sacred Ground.
Yes.
It's in the material, yep. Yeah, hopefully everything will be explained in the email, and if not, just let us know. So that, you'll have 3 weeks probably to do that. And as we said, it's about probably 2 hours. It may be more, maybe less. And again, I would stress, even if you don't get through all the materials, just show up, because it's not, it's ideal if you can do it, but the conversations that we'll have, you can have even if you haven't seen everything or read everything. So the important thing is to show up. There, in the materials you get, as you go through the materials, there are going to be some prompts and some thought questions. Some of those will be discussed. Some of those are just for you. I think generally we sort of cover it, but it all depends. So those are just things to help you focus on the materials and to really try to get in touch with what you're feeling and what you're learning. I think that's...
So we wanted to just have you know who the facilitators are. So we're a pair, Susan, Bab, and I, and we are Wednesdays from 1 to 2:30. Tuesday, I lied. Tuesday, 1 to 2:30. Woo.
Okay, and we're the next pair.
We are Monday from 1:30 to 3.
Right. Yeah, Mondays.
So in addition, there is a Zoom option. The Zoom option is in the evening on Tuesdays, and then there are some other opportunities as well. They are not through UUCB, they're through either St. Paul's or another church, but again, I'm going to reiterate that that is not so important because it is not religion-based. It is not. It is just about this. It's the same exact program. So, and I'm seeing hands. Excellent. We will take questions first. I'd just like to invite prior participants up here to just share something that you think would be important to know about the program from your perspective. We have Betsy and Stan and Peg. Yeah, Bonnie. If you don't mind coming up here, that would be awesome. And you could just share what you want.
Hi, I'm Betsy Williams. I found the videos just unbelievably fabulous. They were, for the most part, documentaries that have run on PBS and other stations and are not available to the general public anymore, so we get the link to them. I just can't even express how much I learned in this program, what I thought I knew, and how little that was of what really went on in our history and in these, as I say, little known. So I think that I would just, if you can't get to the reading, I would say just really try to watch those videos every time.
I'm Bonnie Wood. I put my name tag in there so I wouldn't wear it home. As Diane said, I thought I knew a lot. I grew up in segregated Virginia, and during the civil rights movement, in the 60s, I had a African-American roommate, so, I thought, I knew a lot, but it was still important for me to come. I learned a lot. And I think one of the most important things that I learned was how I ended up being who I am in terms of thought. And the only other thing I'll say, and this just kind of came to me this week, I was listening to On Point on public radio. I don't know if any of you listened to that. And when you learn something new, it makes you pay more attention to other things on that topic, or if you see a word, that you didn't know before. Well, this On Point was, I copied it off because I wanted, not the whole thing. Was an interview with an author called Coleman Hughes. He wrote a book called The End of Race Politics, Arguments for a Colorblind America. And did anybody else hear this? He disagrees strongly with Robin DiAngelo and Ibram Kendi. And it was, you know, I don't think I would have paid as close attention to this interview had I not had this program. And it was a very different but very articulate discussion. So that I like that it opened my mind to that.
Hi, I'm Stan Eller, and I was a participant for the first time this past year. I would reiterate a lot, but let me just start by saying probably the biggest takeaway for me was what this program did to help me understand my past growing up and all of the political activity that I've been involved with over my life. I came out of the Church of the Brethren, was not the Unitarian Church, was very oriented towards peace activism and civil rights, and even in the middle of our program around Sacred Ground, Peg on the other end of it, we went down to Alabama for the Living Legacy Project tour. So we went down there for that because we thought we still didn't know enough and we should go there. We came back and found that we still had so much more to learn and realized how little we had learned. If I had anything to say that would have been helpful in retrospect was I needed more time, because we actually tried to read all of the supplemental materials, and they didn't encourage, they say, you don't need to. Well, if you decide to do it, I really encourage you, if you have the time, to read the supplemental materials, because they really helped me to, in a greater depth, understand the message that was presented in each of the various individual programs. And then the only other thing was, it really, had I had an overview of how broad it was going to be from the beginning, I might have been able to make some connections between, for instance, how many different legal decisions and how many different laws have been passed in our country that have supported racism and the belief in a white America. And even at the end, I felt like I wish I had taken notes and created a timeline as I went through, because I still don't know. And if I had the opportunity, I'm going to do the course again.
Well, of course, everything that's been said is quite true. I would only say that for myself, it wasn't just learning a lot about oneself, which certainly is true, but I learned a lot about our country. And I feel like I was almost in a sisterhood with Heather Cox Richardson or something, the Letters from an American, to understand things about this country that, of course, I didn't know, and that it does all fit together. What Stan said is true. The integration from 1776 and prior to that till now, from all different countries, and our immigration policy, and our real estate laws, and our just things, and of course just incarceration laws and so forth, to see them weave together in a way that sadly does make sense, made me understand my country a little bit better, and I feel better able to face the dilemmas that we're facing with our country because of this.
So there are just some words of wisdom. I do want to open it up to question and answers. Oh, there we go. All right, we'll start over here. Yep. So it depends on the group and so forth. We discourage it to the extent, because we have done it. We did in my group last year. We did do it once or twice. Somebody had COVID or whatever, and it works. It's okay. It's right. It's not ideal, so if possible, but it can be done. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. the Zoom is Tuesday evenings, and I can give you the specifics on it if you're interested in it. So there are some Zoom people. Two right now that I know of.
Is everybody who signs up given a group and meet?
So the question is, does everybody who signs up given a group and meets? So the short answer is yes. If it works for existing groups at UUCB, you're just placed. If not, I will contact you and discuss what other options there are. That's how we're handling that. Yes. Yes. So I can run down what your group is. We did send out an email to the people we knew of at the time. We put people in one of our 2 groups. I did it. It's all my fault. If there's a mess up, it's all my fault. But I did it with love. I did. But yes, and so if you're not sure, you can come see me afterwards, and again, I can help out with that.
Is there a certain size of group you're people? I mean, if more people sign up.
So the question was about the size of the groups, and ideally they should be between 7 and 9 participants, and that's excluding the facilitators. And that's just because it's easier to have a conversation in that kind of size group. So that is our goal at this point. Yep, go ahead. Yes, so that is the sorry, the question was, is it possible to have another group created? And there is a possibility, but we would probably try to make sure that the St. Paul groups were filled first, is what we would do. St. Paul's has some groups going as well. So UUCB has 2 groups that we're running, and then St. Paul's has several. And yeah, you want to?
I was in the St. Paul's group last year, and so I'm still to this day, I'm not sure how I got signed up on that, but that's okay. It's sort of like someone, anyways. And it was separate from this church, but basically always my goal was to be reconnected with this church. So I was delighted that I was asked to be a facilitator and do that. That seems like a natural next step to me. But I was fortunate in the group that I had. I echo what everybody else has said as well.
Penny?
Add my recommendation along with those people here. I did it last year. It's absolutely marvelous. The material that you will be introduced to is incredible, well chosen, broad in its scope, from every perspective. It's a way to learn without pressure. You're just simply having the excitement of learning more about yourself, your country, the history, and about people, humanity. It's just marvelous. And you don't have to be a computer whiz. Everything is a link. Go here, push that, you're in there. So don't worry if you're not a whiz on the computer. It doesn't make any difference. So it's a wonderful, exciting, important learning experience. I can't say enough about it.
Other questions? Yes. So the question was, if you can't make it to a meeting, can you join in on another group? And the answer is no. And the reason it's no is just because you build this camaraderie and safe space, for lack of a better term, with the group that you're in. And so that's why a secondary option might be Zoom, as we said. And that's one of the reasons why we give the dates out right at the beginning, so that hopefully you can set them aside. Things came up. Some of our members couldn't make every single meeting. It just happens. And we miss them and they miss us, but life goes on and it's okay. So, yes. The meetings, so the UUCB meetings will be happening here at UUCB. And then if you happen to end up with a St. Paul group, most of them are at Curtis Memorial Library. So, yes.
So Monday afternoon, there's going to be a group meeting here, and the custodians are going to be done with their work right now?
Yes. That won't be an issue, and we don't know what room we...
The Monday afternoon group meeting may start.
And the building is essentially not in use that day, except that, of course, cleaning is going on, but we will be in May Sarton.
May Sarton room is that big room right out. Look, awesome. Right there. We have Vanna back there showing us which room it is. So the jewelry sorting room. Some people know that best as the jewelry sorting room. Yes. Some people know it as the board room. Some people know it.
Wendell Berry. That's where we'll be. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, so the great news is, regardless of which room it is, we promise to tell you, and there'll be somebody here to point you in the right direction. So, okay. So the Wendell Berry room generally is more comfortable, so that's what we'll aim for, yes. So the question was about what kinds of guidelines are there, what norms are set in terms of sharing information and thoughts and so forth. And at the beginning of the program, the very first session actually, that is covered. And as a group, you discuss that. So excellent point, and absolutely, that does get, so it's, as if there are things you have concerns about, that is a perfect time to bring those up. Okay. Other questions? Okay.
That's okay. Oh, I have a loud voice. I just wanted to say something about the group that I wanted to say before. One of the things that I really enjoyed was getting to know people in the church with whom my path had not crossed before. And that, I think that's good, because you tend to be in groups, and you sort of with the same usual suspects. And this was more mixed, and I really, really liked that a lot.
I'm going to put a plug in for St. Paul's. The two other people in our congregation I know who did the program at St. Paul's, who actually brought the program to us, were Cheryl and Steve Martin, who some of you may know. And they had nothing but really wonderful things to say about the program they did over there. And quite frankly, it opens your mind even further to sit around in a circle with people who identify potentially differently than you do in terms of religious beliefs. So I think it's not something to shy away from. I certainly wouldn't. I didn't do it over there, but I wouldn't.
I have a lot of the answers, not all the answers, but I have a lot of the answers. So yes, so if that is of interest, certainly come see me. I'm going to take one more question, and then we're going to call it, because I said 30 minutes and I'm going to stick to it. But you can come up and speak to any one of us right after. And the last question is yours, Carol.
I noticed, and I love the syllabus, but only 7. Is it missing page 2, or will we get that?
Oops. That was a mistake. It was supposed to be double-sided, and yes, you'll actually get it. We'll send that to you electronically. Yeah. Okay. All right. So thank you all for coming. If you want to come up and talk to one of us, and here we go.